actually going to pivot to a little bit of draft, right? The draft is big coming up, and I hear this debate. Well, let's start with this. I think Caleb Williams is going to be the number one pick. I think anybody with their brain and their head screwed on in the right spot is well aware that Caleb Williams is going to be the number one pick. I got into some spats on TikTok with some people saying, well, you better watch out. Maybe they'll trade the pick. Maybe Justin Fields is the guy. Well, I'll take my mini victory lap there. We won't even include that in hits and misses. I'll take the victory lap on that now, saying Justin Fields' time in Chicago is clearly over. He's not a Pittsburgh Steeler, which that is a whole other can of worms. We'll get into that down the road. But Caleb Williams obviously will be the next quarterback of the Chicago Bears, barring one of the most wild 360 turns we've ever seen. Well, I guess it would be 180, because 360 would just be in the same direction, right? Yes. Okay, we'll go 180, sorry. Unless the most crazy 180 happens in draft history, Caleb Williams will be the future quarterback of the Chicago Bears. So that begs the question, who's number two then, right? Because going into this past college football season, it's been Caleb Williams number one, Drake May a solid number two, and then just everybody else 3 through 10, we'll call it. Right, Drake May's big, moves, right, can throw on the run. Very similar to what we've seen working in the NFL. Your Mahomes, your Josh Allen, Herbert, even Burrow to an extent within the pocket can maneuver it, extend plays, make plays outside of the general structure. We see that that's been working in the NFL, right? And that's been Drake May's thing. And so he's been that number two quarterback behind Caleb Williams for most of the time, and we've seen this in the draft process before, when you have two guys that are, or even whether it's one guy, two guys, three guys, that are cemented at the top, and we've known it for so long, we start to nitpick closer to the draft. Do you guys remember when Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, that draft class, right? You were hearing before the draft, Zach Wilson's pro day was really good. He made that throw against air with no pads on, rolling to his left. Great throw across his body, 50 yards down. He could compete with Trevor Lawrence for the number one pick and could be a better NFL quarterback than Trevor Lawrence. That was an absolute fallacy. That was a joke of a take, and I said it at the time, and I'll say it again here, although I think much less of a joke. I do think Jaden Daniels is a good quarterback, and depending on where he lands in the NFL, could really succeed. I think Caleb Williams is the one guy where it doesn't really matter where he goes. I think he's going to have some level of success. For pretty much everybody else, I think it depends where you land. Who's your offensive coordinator? Who's protecting you up front? Who are you throwing to? Is the organization stable, right? I think that we're doing it again with Drake May. He's 6'4.5", 250, can move, can throw on the run, has a laser arm. Is it a little inconsistent? Sure. But I don't need Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes to complete 72% of it. I don't need them to be Kirk Cousins' accuracy. I don't need them to be that level of consistent from the pocket. When you get the wow, I don't need all that. And so you're starting to hear, well, hey, Jaden Daniels is actually a much better prospect than Drake May. And I think that is, I'll stamp my case now. This is the opinion business. I think that's the incorrect opinion. I think I'll take the other side of that. I think Drake May is a much better prospect. And I think at the end of the day, and Sean Payton didn't back me up personally, right? But I guess I'll take a page from Sean Payton's book. He said this before, and I tend to agree and be in the same camp in that level of thought and that train of thought, is that within the first round, especially your top, we'll call it 10 to 15 picks, you're drafting prototypes, right? You're drafting guys based on their ceiling, based on what they can be, based on, do we see this person, this player, being a Pro Bowler, being an All-Pro, being somebody that can compete in the wild quarterback market that's out there right now with the Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, etc. We could go down the line, right? And I think Drake May is that guy. I think Drake May is absolutely a better prospect than Jaden Daniels. Is Jaden going to be good? Probably. It depends on where he lands. Same thing with, like I said, almost everybody in this class. But I think if you're drafting for prototype, which you should be, and which a lot of the great drafters have been throughout the history of the NFL, that's what you need to go with. I think Drake May is absolutely the guy. I'll stamp my opinion now. Again, this is the opinion business. This is why you guys come here. If you want the same, cookie cutter vanilla things, go look at the standings, right? Go look at, your PFF grades. Sure, I'll reference PFF every now and then, but it's all in the context of opinions. This is the opinion business. And I'm putting my opinion and my stake down now. I think Drake May is a better prospect than Jaden Daniels. Might I lose on that take first year? Sure. What if Jaden slips to the Vikings? What if the Vikings trade up with the Chargers to number 5. We see Drake go number 2. We see New England take Marvin Harrison. We see Arizona take a tackle. We see, whatever happens in the first 4 picks. And Jaden's there at 5, and the Vikings trip to 5, take Jaden Daniels. Will I probably look wrong for the first year or 2, maybe even 3? Sure, it's definitely a possibility because there's much better, more stability, more talent, a better, what I think is a more clever offensive coach in Minnesota. Sure, that's absolutely possible. I think long-term, Drake May has the chance to be a much better quarterback, a much better, bigger, stronger, more longevity-driven quarterback due to his, massive physical skills, right? Big, strong moves, all that, right? More durable. I think in the long run, he ends up being a better quarterback. And I think right now he's a better prospect. Again, based on all those things, you're drafting for prototype. He is the prototypical, absolute cookie-cutter, prototypical quarterback for the 2024-2025 NFL, right? He is what you're looking for. Big, strong moves, extends plays, right? All of that. He is absolutely that guy. I will stamp my claws right now, Drake May over Jaden Daniels.
Okay. Fair enough. The quarterback market, I guess, in the draft is quite interesting. I know we have some differing opinions on Caleb Williams as a whole.
Yeah, you're not big on Caleb Williams.
I am not. And yeah, it does come down to, and this is a discussion for another time, a debate. But just my piece on I like Drake May probably more than Caleb Williams.
Would you say he's your number 1 quarterback on the board?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you at least put Caleb 2?
I would put Caleb.
Okay.
Talent-wise, is Caleb 1 or 2? Absolutely. But I think there's other things that go along with being quarterback in the NFL. And I'm not saying that, I kind of am saying. But, look, I understand that times are changing, but if you are a grown man and you're painting your nails, you're dyeing your hair pink, you're painting your nails pink, having a pink bedazzled phone case while you're sitting courtside at an NBA game, and
it was college basketball, but I don't know, whatever
it is. Listen, there is nothing. The NFL is full of alpha males. Do you think a locker room full of alpha males who are completely committed, the most tough, hard-nosed, gritty people you will ever meet are going to follow that guy?
So now this is where I push you and I challenge you. Make your case. Let's go. Like don't pull punches. You don't have to go out and, you don't have to be rude about it. You think he's soft. I think that's a nice way of putting it where you still get your point across. Do you think he's soft?
Soft, and I think out of touch with what the NFL is. The NFL is tough. The NFL does not cater to people that paint their nails pink.
Okay, I'm holding you to that. I'm absolutely holding you to that because I'm in the other camp where, sure, are there some softer qualities about him? Sure. But I think he is so good, I don't think it's going to matter.
This league is built and run by hard men.
Okay. I'm very interested. I'm very interested to see how this develops for us.
Okay.
I am on the other side where I think there's some truth to what you're saying.
I think Caleb Williams
don't think it's going to matter because I think on the field he is a very tough football player when he steps between those white lines, and I'm sure in the locker room he does enough to command respect from his teammates, and he is tough between the white lines. I can tell you that for a fact.
Well, we'll see. See how that pans out.
We will see.
Either way, let's go. Hits